Welcome to Doozer Shop. Doing a sit-down situation. Wanted to do a little show and tell. I think most of my subscribers are machine people, machine guys. So what I've got here is a push button switch. Some call this like an operator station, on off, okay. And this one's called a Reese, R-E-E-S, okay? And it's cool. Well, let me kind of show you what the the deal is. So this has 4 screws, right? And it is made to go in a weatherproof box. Like, you can even get these boxes at Lowe's or Home Depot. They're made for outside outlets on your porch, on your house, okay? With them 4 screws. So that's, like, Red Dot makes them. I forget all the companies that make them. But anyways, what's cool about this is notice the contacts, okay? It's got normally open and on both sides, and then where the wire is, it's got a set of normally closed contacts. But look at the, here you go. It's a disc, right? You can see the silver contacts, and it's a copper disc. And you can see it's got over travel protection. It's got a spring and a 1/4 lock nut. But the neat thing is you can see the disc, you know, just in the use of everything, it rotates, right? So it spreads wear from the arcing of the contacts around the periphery of the disc. Now, starter solenoids are like this in cars also. But just the mechanical feel, so there's your start contact, ready, and here, let's see, ready, and push, contact, and then over travel, which is sweet. And then, like I said, the other side, it's making normally closed the contact on the bottom now, and it breaks it, and it's got some free travel, and then it makes some on the top there. The top ones weren't used, and we can see the contacts underneath there. I know the lighting's not great. So what you can actually, I was thinking about it, you know, this side is start, the side on the bottom where the jumper wire is here is stop. But if you wired this top one as start also, it'd be like a jog. So there'd be off, and that would start the motor and jog it, and as soon as you released it, it would bump down and kill it again. So that'd be good for a jog function. But the quality of this thing, see, Reese, Main USA, heavy duty, 600 volts. It's probably only rated for, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 amps pilot duty, but I've never heard of Reese before. I've done a video on a Reese jack, but R-E-E-S, never seen this before. And it's gasketed, but oh shoot, it's black phenolic. The same plastic goes underneath. It's encased in this aluminum cast cover, but. And notice on the front, the start placard, this comes off. It's held on by the screws. And so with the stop placard also. And it's like a pantograph engraved or stamped. So these come off. They're just, you know, plates, but they're held on by the same, I believe, the 632 screws. But I didn't have an operator station on the Giddings and Lewis. So I cleaned these up. I've got 4 of them. They're industrial surplus, used, and you know, they will live another life. Reese also makes single green, you know, push buttons starters with 4 sets of contacts, 2 NO, 2 NC. But that's all I wanted to say is, you know, this is, I don't know if you can still buy these new. I think you might be able to. Maybe not. Maybe they made them up until the 70s or 80s. But the quality of this thing, so you guys know me, I kind of geek out on industrial items, whether it's machines or tools, hand tools, power tools, industrial lamps, lamp fixtures, industrial chairs, cabinets, industrial, you know, die carts, anything made that's durable, not necessarily to be used in an industrial setting, but things that are durable. Like I have a restaurant toaster from the 1970s, maybe 80s. I don't know. It's not a Toastmaster. I forget what it. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I just love things that are made with quality because it makes me happy. To have this stuff, to own this stuff, to surround myself with this stuff. That's why I have those old fire trucks, the international trucks. Just the quality. And you can service it. And they were, you know, all these items were built in a time where it was made for a prosperous country, a prosperous nation. It was made for durability and value for your money and to last a long time. Well, big businesses have found if things last forever, then they don't sell anymore and they don't make the money, and you know. But see, all this came, the quality and the durability stuff, it kind of came from the war effort in World War II manufacturing. World War I maybe, I don't know, but for sure World War II, where these had to last on the battlefield, in service, in a factory making bombs or tanks or whatever, and the focus was on quality. And after the war effort, they kept going, and then they call it value engineering. They kept making it cheaper, make it cheaper, keep the profit, and then it'll break. And it was just greed took over, and that's not a philosophy that I understand it, but that's not where I'm at. My head is, as an engineer, is about quality and you know, stuff like that, and good designs and robust designs. I've heard a definition of love that said love is the desire for the embetterment of all things. Right? Embetterment means make things better. To better things. So I love my machines and my shop and my trucks and my lamps and my push buttons. I love all these things. I want to make them better. I want the best. And what is the best? Well, for me, the best is heavy duty, long lasting, quality, the feel you get, the tactile sensation. From a push button like that, it's part of the user experience. I want that. I hate membrane keypads. I hate touch screens. I hate the microwave buttons. They suck. They're terrible. They don't have a good tactile sensation. It makes you putting numbers in the microwave and swiping all over your computer screen on your phone makes you dirty and weird. It does for me anyways. I feel when I push, I feel macho, I feel in charge, I feel this is a button that's going to do something important because it's made and it sounds and it looks important. That's what I'm all about here at Doozer Shop. This is my life. I like things with purpose and prominence. Because if you don't go through life with purpose and you don't have prominence in things that you do and the way you do things, it's a waste. It's a waste of your energy, your effort. This is my opinion, right? Some people, they're content to sit on the couch and be on their computer phone for hours and hours and hours and just, I don't know. Maybe they want to repeat. They want to come back in another life and have a retry or a reboot. I don't know, but I spent I don't know. I maybe not quite an hour because I let it soak, cleaning this in the mineral spirits tank. This was full of 3 different colors of paint. And I used lacquer thinner, and I cleaned it, and I got it off. It was black, it was green, it was safety yellow, and I don't remember what else. But you can see some of the green remnants on the gasket, and you might be able to see some yellow on the gasket and some black on the cover. But yeah, it was at least 3 colors. And I've got 3 more of these. But yeah. This is the kind of thing I want in my shop. And even the later model Cutler hammer, push buttons, and I think GE were cheaper, like for garage doors, open, close, on and off, like the ones they sold with the contactors and the switch boxes. The Hubbles, Dayton made them, which is a copy of something else, the Granger Dayton. They're just cheap. They're not an industrial push button made to last. They're made to survive and break. Man, look, this actually had a number engraved in it, right? It's like a part number, a serial number, something. You know, just quality everywhere. I don't know, I've ranted about this for over 12 minutes. You can even see, like, somebody was whacking these buttons year after year and with a sharp object or a drill bit or something, and they just, see all the scars? Bakelite plastic. But it just keeps working. It just keeps working, you know? And I don't drive no plastic. I mean, I got, my car is a 95 Crown Vic, and I got 2 of them. Or one's a Grand Marquis, but it's a 95. But, you know, minimal amount of plastic in computers and all that. Computers are good for making money for the dealer. And you know, the less conveniences you have, the more discipline you build, right? So all these conveniences, you get soft. You're not disciplined. You're lazy. You're apt to just say, well, the hell with it. I want my navigation system. Get out a map. Right, and I'm practical, right? I don't get out a map, but what I used to do is I didn't use the Garmin or the TomTom or the phone. I would go on Google Maps and memorize where the address location that I was going to drive physically was. And it's the same. It's kind of the same as using a map, but yeah, I don't like folding a map. There's the discipline that I'm lacking, is to fold a map. But keep my memory sharp. And I write bank checks, and I write everything in cursive, so I don't forget. And at work, I do math, addition, subtraction, division. I do it on paper. It depends on what it is. If it's something I'm quick and I got to think, I'll just do a calculator. But I got some reports that I'm showing my work, and I'll write it out longhand. Yeah. So maybe somebody will see this video and understand where I'm coming from. And let me tell you, it is fulfilling. It feels good that I have accomplished something when I do something maybe the hard way. Like I remember where the address was from looking at the map. I never used to sharpen my chainsaw chain, and I started doing it because I used to take them to the hardware store, and this one time, a couple times, they just weren't sharpened right. They just sucked. So I looked at, like, oh, I need a 5/32 round file. Okay, I got one. It's kind of dull, but I'll use it. And I started sharpening my chain. And then it's like, well, with the Stihl chain, Stihl, S-T-I-H-L, brand chain, it's hard. Maybe my file was really dull, but it's hard. So I went and I got a 5/32 stone for the die grinder for the Dremel. So I went to Home Depot. I got a couple stones, and I don't even got the jig. I kind of freehand, ying, 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 you know. And boy, that thing cut really, really nice. My angles weren't nothing but freehanded, so they're not exactly. Who cares? It didn't veer off. You know, it was veering off with the hardware store chain. It cut nice and straight. And then it just, you know, I'd sharpen it, but it just wasn't hooking, man. So I did some research. Oh, you got to file the rakers, right? So I bought a little organ file. Nice files, by the way, in the shop even. And a raker guide, and I filed all my raker teeth on the saw chain. And now it's sharp, and it's got hook. It's a monster, and it turned that little saw into a good performing saw. So I used it today after the sharpening, and I cut 2 little pine trees. And man, I feel good. It's like, man, I mastered that chain, right? I figured out how to sharpen it. You know, discovered the stone works better. Discovered file the rakers, and you know, I'm still freehanding the angles because it's not a precision woodworking equipment, but and I've sharpened them with an angle grinder before with a thin disc. You use up, you wear your chain out. You're not conserving the metal, but I feel good when I do something and I use it. I feel good when I charge my air conditioning in my car, and it's cold when I drive it. And the one car I replaced the pump, the compressor, a couple years ago. And it's proud that worked. Actually, I took it off one of my junk cars that came from New York, and I was just going to go to the junkyard anyways because it's rusty. I feel good. Every time I hear that cold air conditioning, it's like, man, I can charge it, man, I can fix it, da-da-da-da, I know about it. When I chainsaw, I felt good. When I push the button, I feel good, right? Because this I acquired through industrial salvage, cleaned it up, because I have an eye for this, right? And now you do too. I told you what to look for. This is heavy-duty phenolic plastic, and it's got the over travel springs in the disc and the silver contacts and the make and break delineation and the action, and you know, weather tight gasket. And if you know, now I hope you watch my video, and now it's like, man, I am on the jazz about push button switches, right? Nobody thinks of this stuff. Nobody cares. They just want it to work. But when it don't work, they're crying, right? This thing is going to work probably for as long as I'll be alive. This thing will work for 30, 40 years, 50 years in, you know, a non-heavy use environment. But I guess to sum up, you know, buy quality stuff. Spend more money if you have to. Work longer, work harder. Spend the money on good stuff. Or if you've got more time than money, seek it out. Go to secondhand stores. Go to the junkyard. Go, you know. So there's 2 kinds of junkyards. There's the auto junkyard, and then there's like the metal recycling Scrap yards. Scrap yards and junkyards. Scrap yards are the metal recycling. And man, you can get, well, you see my videos. I got those I-beams and everything. It's just glorious. But there is a stigma in this country about it's got to be new. Old is bad. Old is automatically junk. It's yucky. It's dirty, and dirt is bad. And you got to be clean because executives are clean and rich people are clean. And I don't get that, man. I don't. I mean, dirty hands are hard work. I got calluses. I've been working outside with a chainsaw and pulling vines and cleaning the yard today and raking up pine needles and garbage, throwing out roof shingles. I did a bunch today, and it's Sunday, around the house, and I did a bunch of stuff. My body hurts and I'm tired. I've been drinking water and popping aspirin, but I feel okay. I feel good. I got a lot done today. Changed the oil in my tractor. I got to show you guys the new tractor. But anyways, do something with your life that's rewarding and satisfying, and surround yourself with quality stuff. Don't rely on other people for your happiness. Don't rely on the internet for your happiness. But if you're watching this and you have a cityfied job and an apartment and you don't work on your car and you just come home and you watch the computer or the TV and you go to work and then you go to the bar and you drink and play pool, or you have friends. I mean, that's all great. You do rock climbing, that's great. Everything, socialize is great. But you need it to be fulfilled, to be happy. You need to be proud of yourself, right? And everybody's, oh, pride's a sin. That's different. It's not like pride is a sin when you say I'm better than you because my shit don't think it. You need to be proud of yourself, and pride are two different things, right? You need to be proud that you know how to do stuff, and you are a formidable individual. You are a character in this world that can take care of stuff. If you get a flat tire, you're not going to cry. You're going to, pull over in a safe space, get the tire out, get the jack out, and because I'm a pragmatic individual, I make sure my tire pressure in the spare is always good when I check the other tires. And then I got tools in, to take the lug nuts off. I got whatever. I got anti-seize on my lug nuts so they're not seized. And you plan all this stuff. It's not freaking automatic. I got 3 jacks in my trunk of my car. I got 2 of the factory scissor jacks, and I got a little bottle jack. It's like a $25 bottle jack. Just do it. And I got a full toolbox with half-inch sockets with, I think it's a 13/16 socket that fits the lug nuts. And I got a half-inch breaker bar ratchet, whatever. I put anti-seize on all my lug nuts because I take them off maybe once or twice a year to check the brakes. And if I get a flat tire, maybe I don't have to take it off because I got a plug kit in the glove compartment with a set of diagonal cutters, with a little screwdriver to poke out the whatever, with a razor blade to cut off. Actually, the dikes will cut off the plug. But yeah, I've got all this stuff. So I don't have to pay $200 for a tow truck. So I am self-sufficient. I've changed an alternator, went to Napa, bought a new one on my lunch break, and just changed it and gave him the core back, or whatever it was. And it took me 15 minutes out of my lunch break. Just go to Napa, and it's because it was not charging. But I mean, you set yourself up for success. You just do it. It's if everything that you do is prepared and maintenanced and working smooth and ready to go, you're gonna have an easy time in life. If you got to rely on other people for everything, It's going to cost you money. The lawnmower won't start. I filled it up with gas, and I don't know how to change the plug. I don't know how to pull the float off the carburetor. I mean, I'm not saying that's for everybody. It's not. But find something. I mean, get a 3D printer and learn. That's a lot, but get a 3D printer and learn CAD to make your things and start making stuff. Join a maker group, dude. Get introduced to all this stuff. I mean, learn how to use a table saw, use a radial saw, use a drill press, use a sander, make shelves. Start with woodworking. Get a tap and die set. Get some hammers. Go to the flea market and get hammers. Clean them up. Hang a new handle on a hammer. Watch a video how to do that. So many things. And then it starts off with little trinky, inky, binky stuff, but it builds, right? It multiplies what you can do. And when you know stuff and you learn stuff, buy some Harbor Freight tools and go to garage sales. Buy some better tools. There used to be a lot of flea markets around. There's still a few. Flea markets were great for tools. Oh my God, Air tools from the plants that would close down, the factories. You get Cleco and Dotco and just industrial, just like Ingersoll Rand and just Chicago Pneumatic. Air tools, man. Get a cheap air compressor. Buy a better air compressor when you can afford it. I know everything's electric tools now, and I get some electric tools too. But that's how I started. And don't be a snob with your tools where I gotta have Snap-on or I'm a Mac guy. It's like, no, I've got 13 different brands of tools in my box. The ratchets, the sockets are different brands. I start with a Craftsman set with my birthday, and now I got all kinds of tools, and some of the ratchets are so cool, different brands, and they feel good in your hand. They feel different. I got some Taiwanese tools. I got, from my grandfather, is just all kinds of stuff. Just different brands of screwdrivers, and it's mixed and matched, and I've abused these screwdrivers, and they don't break, and I just keep them around, and it's just like you can either go the obsessive compulsive disorder mechanic and get everything the same brand and the same color, but the working man uses his tools, and if they break, he gets rid of them or he fixes them and just doesn't matter what brand. If they make you money, you can have 12 different brands of screwdrivers or sockets. It doesn't matter. And all these guys that have to have the Snap-on, it's nice, but it's just a different lifestyle. It costs a lot of money. It's an image they're trying to project. And that's fine. It's just different. It's just a different way of life. Maybe they're happier than I am. I don't know. And maybe, when you have a lot of money, you like to reward yourself. Well, that's a philosophy too. I'm not saying these people are wrong. Everybody's got their own thing. And some people need to spend money and be happy because it's something in their mind that just compels them to do so. And they need it to be happy. Then there's the argument, well, if you're truly well adjusted, you could be happy, poor or this or that, or, I don't know. I'm not quite there. I think money is good because it's security. In case something happens, you get sick, you have to go to the hospital, you gotta have money. Insurance is only, you can't rely on insurance, only so much. If you have money, you don't ever have to take a loan and pay interest. I recently paid off my house so that monkey is not on my back. And if the economy tanks, the house is paid for. If the value of the dollar goes in the toilet, I have the house. I'm just trying to retire. My corporate engineering job stresses me out. I work with a lot of nice people. Some of the people have, profit agendas, and, decisions are made. And I get it, not for the good of the product. They try to make it cheaper, and they call it value engineering, but it's making it cheaper. And I get it. But the problem is the company I work for has investors, and they always demand a profit, and they demand an increasing profit all the time. So it's hard. And maybe I should open my shop, Doozer shop, for most of the stuff I do is for me and for friends right now. I got a lot of machinery, but I just don't feel like all my machines they're not 100% working. I should see. I think they're all half to maybe 75% in good order. Like I said, I have to replace the bearings in the one lathe, and there's, a thousand other things. I just try to live the best way I know how, which seems to be very different than everybody around me. I feel it's very different because everybody's a consumer and I'm not. I'm a builder, I'm a creator, I'm a saver, I'm a recycler, I'm writing a Steve Miller song or something. Hope this helps somebody watching it find their way. And my way is not the best way, but it's the best way for me. But try to make your time on this earth worth something. I try to help people at work and in the community, people I come in contact with. I always stop on the side of the road if someone's changing a tire, offer to help. I always try to reach out to people.